We're going to talk about something that silently shapes pretty much every big decision you make as an adult. And the crazy part? A lot of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. There's this number, and it quietly follows you, through your whole life. You probably don't see it most days. I mean, you're not checking it constantly, but make no mistake, it is always there. And this isn't just some static grade you get in school. No way. Think of it more like a living thing. It's constantly updating, adjusting, reacting to everything you do with your money, every single payment, every purchase, every choice you make. And here's the really crucial part. This number, it can actually decide things about your life before you even realize a decision is being made. It's opening and closing doors for you that you might not even know exist. Okay, so let's dig in. Let's start by looking at exactly what this number, yep, your credit score, actually has its hands on. I mean, its reach is absolutely enormous. And we're not just talking about, getting a loan. This number influences where you can even rent an apartment. It affects the interest rate on your car loan, which, let's be real, determines what car you can actually afford. And ultimately, it dictates the kinds of financial opportunities that are even on the table for you in the first place. But here's the thing. To really get a handle on its power, we have to look past just the number itself. We've got to peek behind the curtain and see the machinery that's working back there. Most people think it's pretty simple, right? Higher score, good. Lower score, bad. And look, that's not wrong exactly, but that simple view, it hides something way, way more important. See, the score you see on your report, that's just the output. It's the final number on the screen. The real power lies in the system itself, the engine, the machine that's watching your behavior and crunching the numbers to produce that score. The score is just the what. The system, that's the how and the why. And that right there, that is the key shift in how you have to think about this. Once you get that there's this whole system constantly evaluating you, you stop seeing just a score. You start seeing it for what it really is. And this brings us to the absolute core of what the system does. Its main job isn't to judge you for your past. It's to predict your future. So think about it like this. From your point of view, you're just living your life, right? You're paying bills, swiping a credit card. But from the system's perspective, every single one of those actions is a data point, a piece of information. Did you pay on time? Check. Did you use up a lot of your available credit? Check. It's all just recorded, not emotionally, not with any judgment, but purely statistically. This is such a wild, powerful way to think about it. Imagine there's a statistical version of you being built in the background, a kind of digital twin. This version of you, it doesn't know your story, it doesn't care about your intentions, it only knows your behavior, your patterns. And over time, to the system, that statistical you, well, it starts to become more real than the actual you.
Let's be clear on what we mean by judgment. Judgment is basically an opinion or a conclusion about something that's already happened. It's backward looking. Prediction, though, that's totally different. It's a forecast. It's all about using patterns from the past to figure out what's most likely to happen next. It is forward looking. And honestly, this difference is everything.
So what this all means is the system isn't really judging you for being late on a bill last year. No, it's using that piece of data along with thousands of others to predict the statistical likelihood that you'll be late on a bill next year. And that predictive power is what lets it shape your options before you even see them.
So how does this whole prediction engine actually work? Well, it's all about taking tiny, seemingly insignificant moments and lumping them together until they form big, powerful patterns.
Okay, check this out. Here's how the system thinks. You might pay a bill a few days late and think, no big deal, it's a one-time thing, a minor slip-up. But the system, it doesn't see an isolated moment. It sees the start of a potential pattern. And it's those patterns, those trends, that really shape your score.
Another reason all of this feels so invisible is because of something we could call the delay effect. You do something today, but the consequences, they might not actually hit your score for weeks, maybe even months. And that huge lag makes it almost impossible for our brains to connect the cause and the effect. So we don't even realize that a decision we made way back when is what's causing the problem we're facing right now.
And all of this, it creates this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. Just think it through. Your score limits your options. Maybe you can only get loans with super high interest. Those limited options then affect your behavior. You're forced to pay more just to get by. That new behavior gets recorded as more data, which then reinforces your original low score. See? It's a cycle. And man, it can be really, really hard to break out of. All right, so let's see how this all translates into the real world, how it builds these invisible walls that can literally define your financial reality. Okay, take a look at this. It's a pretty stark example. You've got two people, and they both apply for the exact same $300,000 mortgage. One has an excellent credit score, the other just a fair score. Now, the interest rate difference might not look like much at first glance, just 1.5%. But just wait. Look at the total interest they each end up paying over 30 years. The difference is, well, it's staggering. $85,352. Let that sink in. That is the invisible cost of a lower score. It's real money that one person has to pay that the other one just doesn't, for the exact same house. This is the system in action, translating a predictive number into a tangible, truly life-altering financial reality. And you know what? The effect goes even deeper than just the money. Over time, people actually start to internalize the limits the system puts on them. They just stop applying for that nicer apartment or that loan to start a business because deep down, they just assume they won't get it. The system starts to shape your decisions before you even make them. It stops being just financial and becomes behavioral. And that really is the most powerful part of this whole thing. Your score isn't just a number. It's an entire system that is constantly observing you, building predictive patterns about you, and quietly, methodically shaping your reality. And most of it happens so gradually, so silently, that you might never even notice. Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible systems might be shaping your life right now?